Hey folks, there's been a lot of teaser content coming out from EHG on Cycle 2, and in this video I'm going to organize that information that's on various different places and put it all into one, as well as some things that aren't technically teasers but could be useful information for you. I'll be adding more of the spoilers as we see them to this list, so definitely check back and hopefully this will be your one-stop source of all the 1.1 information. If you find this useful, please leave a like on the video and definitely check out this spreadsheet. To kick it off, I have the 1.1 overview here with the kind of basic ideas that are on the roadmap, as well as some additional details about that here. So we have the official trailer, we have the roadmap itself. So all these links here you can go into and there's additional information. So definitely check that out. Specifically talking about 1.1 here, so I'm not going to bother on the future ones, but if you haven't seen that, check this link out. There's a lot of information there. So on 1.1 specifically, we have the Harbingers, we have the Pinnacle boss, we have random encounters, Nemesis, and we have the dodge roll. These are the main themes of the 1.1, and it kind of centers around the new Pinnacle boss system. So it's not specifically just a boss, there's a whole bunch of new stuff in there that they've sort of teased at a little bit. So I have some sources here from EHG Mike on some of the dev streams. The Pinnacle boss will have phases, and I believe Mike said it is something that you could potentially trivialize if your character is strong enough. There's some talk here about difficulty and damage. As well, there's also some information here about the Nemesis specifically. So if you click that, this will open up a link to all the videos and the specific timestamp that this is talked about. So if you want more information on anything you see here, click the link and you'll hear it straight from EHG Mike. So back to the sheet here, we have also some more information on dodge roll. I know this is another very highly anticipated mechanics. So you can see here some more details about the dodge roll. Definitely check that out. There we go. Moving on, I have some more information about evade specifically. So the dodge roll, there is the forum post here on it, as well as the demo link here. So this is the, I don't really want to say it's a skill. It's not really a skill. It doesn't have a skill tree. So Mike made sure to clarify all of that. There is a cooldown of 4 seconds, which can be reduced. So there could be some cool stuff you could do with that. There's also some triggers that could be working on evade and all sorts of other interactions that they'll probably be adding in the future. So you can see here it has a movement tag. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff here. You have no immunity frames, so this isn't Dark Souls. You're not going to be dodging to immune damage or anything like that. Some additional changes here. These are a little bit of kind of Easter egg teasers. So Mike did confirm there will be blessing switching available. There will also be the Cycle 1 mechanics moving into core. So the Pinnacle boss won't be available in core right away. It will be once it has been defeated in the cycle specifically, or after a certain threshold of time. I believe that was 1 week. So if you want to play Legacy, you don't want to play the cycle, you can do that. You don't need to start from scratch if you don't want. So yeah, we also have new crafting materials in Cycle 1. Mike hasn't said exactly what it will be, but it will be a glyph or rune. So here's the source on that as well. You need any of these sources, as I said, they're all there. So jumping into passives, the first one here we have is a Forge Guard passive. So if you're not aware, one of the main things that Mike said is Forge Guard is getting a little bit of love. So if you're a fan of the Forge Guard class, this should be a pretty cool patch for you. So first we have Javelineer, we have Throwing Attack Critical Multiplier, so this is pretty cool. You get a little bit of damage here, and then you get crit chance per 5 dex. So this appears to be base crit. You could get some really good crit scaling with this now. I like this passive a lot, and I like the changes that are coming from Forge Guard. We also have Shield Crafter. This one is really cool. So you can generate a bunch of shields while you're blocking, you're running in, getting hit. You have a bunch of extra block effectiveness. You have all these shields. There should be some synergy with the Ring of Shields passive. So I really like this cool stuff here. And as we move forward, you'll see there's also some other synergies that we might have with shields and blocking. So yeah, really cool passive here. Here we have Champion of the Forge. You're going to be getting extra crit chance, 10% per point with two-hand. This is pretty cool. and crit multi per 2 strength. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with strength stacking. I like this. You could potentially have over 100 strength. That's not super unreasonable to get. It's a pretty solid 5 points. Even if you're getting 50 crit multi and 50% crit chance, that would still be pretty good use of your points. And then we have Gift of the Skies. This is deep into the Shaman tree. You can see you get some attack speed here, you get some cast speed, you get a bunch of dodge rating. Flat dodge is pretty nice. You also get Totem Frenzy. This seems like this could be pretty cool. Next we have one in the Spellblade tree. It's not deep into Spellblade, so you can grab this on the other classes. But here we have Dexterity, +1 per point, and a bunch of crit chance. This is not base crit, and it is 8% per point. So to contrast that with the mage spell crit you get per point of int, this is significantly more. So that is interesting. There could be some cool stuff you could do with dex stacking here. There's already a few uniques that synergize with dex stacking, so I think potentially this could open up some new builds, or at least make them a little bit better. Also in Spellblade, we have the Incinerating Aura. So this one, you have fire auras from all source deal damage in a larger area. You get AoE on your fire aura. You get extra intelligence, which is nice. So any stuff you're doing with intelligence is always good, ward retention, all that stuff. And you also have flat spell damage on your fire aura per 2 points of int. So I'm not actually sure how good this is going to be. We'll have to see when the patch drops if this ends up turning into a build. But who knows, maybe it will. And if so, that is a potential like 1 or 0 button build, you running around killing stuff with auras, so that could be cool. We also have another passive here for the Void Knight. This one is deep into the Void Knight tree, so you do need Void Knight, and it actually increases your vitality scaling. So that will take you from 6 health per point to 8. So if you're stacking vitality along with the other stuff that does scale with vitality, this could end up being a pretty big buff to your health pool. Then we have a skill tree. So this is a node in the Disintegrate tree. This gives you an ability to start with a tier 3 Disintegrate. So I don't know how good this is going to be, but potentially you could be running around and immediately casting Disintegrate with a large amount of damage. Whether this will make Disintegrate viable, I don't know. It might need a little bit more TLC to bring it up, but who knows. And here we have something for Shield Bash. So if you remember before, there's some Forge Guard stuff for shield related things, block effectiveness like that. Here you have another thing that's giving you damage per block effectiveness. So potentially you could have a bunch of shields spinning around you, shield bashing around, doing a bunch of damage. This could open up a new build, or at least make some of the existing ones better. It's pretty exciting stuff. Now on to the COF related spoilers here. So the first one we've seen was the boss loot upgrade. That was something that was complained about significantly in cycle 1. The 150% I don't think will suddenly make COF like better than Merchant Guild. It still should be pretty reasonable with this upgrade. Just as an example, the Core of the Mountain with a 12% drop chance, if I'm remembering correctly, that would bring it up to 30%. So that is a pretty big increase. And another thing that was also interesting on the Reddit thread for this, if we go into that, it is possible that we could be seeing more than 10 ranks. So here you can see this is rank 10. We already have a rank 10. Where is our rank 10 going? Mike seems to be hinting that it is possible that there might be more than 10 ranks. And from what I'm seeing, it seems pretty likely, because so far we've already seen 2 new ranks. And I think with the set changes coming, it doesn't seem super likely that they're just going to completely remove the current rank 9 for the set bonus. So it seems possible that the existing rank 10 might be moved to like rank 15 or rank 20 or something like that. This is purely speculation, but that is my guess that we're going to see this rank 10 being a little bit closer to mid-tier, and then some of the other ones being moved up to higher tiers. So yeah, for the next one, COF spoilers, we have double experimental items. This was another thing that I personally brought up, as well as a few other people, on how hard it was to farm experimental items, so this is very good. To wrap this up, we have art that will be for various things in the cycle, so we don't know exactly what they're for yet, but they look pretty cool, so we'll go through them. This thing, we don't have any idea what it is. It looks maybe something like a StarCraft mothership or something. I don't know. It could be an item, could be maybe a boss or something. Here we have a lightning elemental. I think this is going to be a reskin of the existing one. Maybe they're going to do some mechanic changes as well. I don't know. But does look pretty cool, a lot cooler than the current model. So happy to see that. Another one here we have looks like some sort of ring, maybe a unique or a new base type. This seems to be some sort of golem or something. This could be a reskin of an existing enemy or a new enemy. We don't really know. Here's another thing. We don't know what it is. It looks like maybe an item or could be an enemy, maybe like a key or something. This is another sort of void-looking contraption. I think the purple things generally are something void related. So I don't know what that could be. Maybe it relates to corruption or shade or the new boss or something like that. This looks to me like an egg. I don't know. Maybe we're going to be able to make some sort of omelet or something. But could also relate to the new boss. Maybe you hatch the egg and it summons the boss as part of the Pinnacle system, or who knows. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'll be adding more of the spoilers as we see them to this list, so definitely feel free to check back, and hopefully this will be your one-stop source of all the 1.1 information. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Cheers.